Good morning and welcome to Orca News. The headlines. Congress rejects the color change of the anchor in the flag of Landova. Constitutional amendment on district representation to be enacted next elections. Executive cabinets have formalized acronyms per institution. And moviegoers craze on the release of two top-showing movies. Congress has disapproved of the proposed color change of the anchor from black to white in the national flag, according to Senate President and Vice President Jefferson, that it has been sealed off into the Constitution, as well as the Heraldic Code of Landova, which underlying states the protection of the national ensign and flag of Landova, free from unnecessary alteration of the flag. House Speaker Oliver Robinson with the whole lower house has unanimously rejected the proposed changes. Likewise, President Klavinsky understands the Congress's agreement in which it would be hectic for now to modify the national flag. This decision underlines the nation's commitment to preserving its emblematic identity. A constitutional amendment on instituting congressional districts. Paul Wanders reports.
The Constitutional Commission is amending the congressional representation per city, municipality, and village in Landova. A constitutional amendment has been formalized instituting congressional districts per city, municipality, and village in Landova. The amendment aims to revise the current representation structure, transitioning from a single representative per village and 2 representatives per city or municipality. It will now be 1 representative minimum per recognized district, abiding by an equitable representation per population to be represented, in which more than 1 representative can represent a district. Political manipulation such as gerrymandering will be substantially lesser and will recognize a fair chance of populism and democracy. The same electoral system, which is the proportional representation system, will still be implemented for voting for lower house representatives. From the current 16 total representatives, political experts may see it will drop to 15 representatives if no new congressional district has been inaugurated or founded until December 31st. The new constitutional amendment will be enacted in the 2024 general elections. This is Paul Wanders, reporting for Orca News.
The Fusion Party is exuberantly endorsing President Klavinsky's bid for re-election in the upcoming polls. President Klavinsky, a member of the Fusion Party, announced his intention to seek another term in the 2024 elections during his recent State of the Nation address. Notably, the Fusion Party currently lacks any notable contender within its ranks, showcasing the widespread favor the president holds among party members. Meanwhile, both the Red Conservative Party and the Landovian Axe Party are yet to unveil their presidential nominees for the 2024 general elections. The forthcoming primary and caucus elections, scheduled for the first Friday of December, will finalize each party's chosen candidate for the presidential race. Furthermore, the Commission on Elections is prepared to accommodate nonpartisan or independent candidates who intend to participate in the upcoming elections, extending candidacy submissions until further notice. In an effort to encourage civic engagement, an executive order has been submitted to declare December 1st, the day of the primary elections, a national public holiday. The Executive Cabinet has formalized the use of acronyms per department. The Executive Cabinet is streamlining its communication by adopting acronyms for various departments. With that, the Department of Environmental Care and Natural Resources has been renamed the Department of Environmental Protection. This effort aims to enhance efficiency and clarity in the government's operations and interactions. The listed acronyms per cabinet departments are as follows: DAGRI for the Department of Agriculture, Agriculture. DAI stands for the Department of Architecture and Infrastructure. DCI stands for the Department of Commerce and Industry. DOD stands for the Department of Defense. DETU stands for the Department of Education. DEPRO stands for the Department of Environmental Protection. DFBM stands for the Department of Finance and Budget Management. DOH stands for the Department of Health. DICST stands for the Department of Information, Communications, Science and Technology. DOJ stands for the Department of Justice. DOL stands for the Department of Labor. DENCIO stands for the Department of National Security and Integral Operation. DOPE stands for the Department of Power and Energy. DPS stands for the Department of Public Social Welfare and Services. DSA stands for the Department of State Affairs. DOI stands for the Department of the Interior. DOTM stands for Department of Tourism. DOTR stands for Department of Transportation. And DUPD stands for Department of Urban Planning and Development. These 19 cabinet departments will ensure the utmost trust in every sector and service for the Landovian people by making it easier to call by their acronym. Media practitioners and government officials were prohibited to use informal acronyms for cabinet departments as a way to maintain formality.
July was the hottest month ever recorded on Earth, with abnormally land and sea high temperatures, according to the European Union's Copernicus Climate Change Services, or the C3S. It has not been this warm, combining observational records and paleoclimate records, for the last 120,000 years, said Samantha Burgess, Deputy Director of the EU's Copernicus Climate Change Services. The global average temperature for July 2023 is confirmed to be the highest on record for any month. The month is estimated to have been around 1.5 degrees Celsius, warmer than the average for 1850 to 1900, said Burgess. 2023 is currently the third warmest year to date at 0.43 degrees Celsius above the recent average, with the average global temperature in July at 1.5 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels, said Burgess. C3S and the World Meteorological Organization made the unusual decision to announce that July was set to be the hottest month ever before it ended. Record air and ocean temperatures could have dire consequences for both people and the planet, exposed to ever more frequent and intense extreme events. C3S warns that warming is expected to get worse in the coming months, as the El Niño weather phenomenon exacerbates the effects of human-caused climate change. And here's our weather for today.
A 5.3 magnitude earthquake occurred 327 kilometers northwest of Landova last August 5 at 1:10 in the afternoon local time. The Landova Geological Sciences and Survey Agency stated that the quake has a depth of 10 kilometers, and it was not felt elsewhere in Landova. Movie enthusiasts in Schottler are experiencing a surge of excitement surrounding the release of two highly anticipated films. Amanda Moore reports.
Here at Schottler Theaters, we have dozens of people gathered to see the premiere of two worldwide hit movies. The first movie that premiered here at the theaters is the Barbie film, which then succeeded the Oppenheimer film. Day and night movie fanatics have waited for the screening of the two films, which left people waiting in lines just to watch the movies. The theater management, aiming to maintain a balanced screening schedule, has limited the daily screenings to 6 movies. This is Amanda Moore, reporting for Orca News.
This just in. We have some breaking news that an explosion was heard near Lubhart village around 15 minutes ago. Let us have Ludward Klavitz on the scene. Ludward.
Yes, Natalie, we heard of a presumable explosion right there outside of Lubhart village in the forest around 15 minutes ago. The Landova police with the Landovian army said that they will investigate the explosion right away. Residents of Lubhart village here told us that it might be a creeper that have exploded, sensing that a person might have triggered the creeper. The Landova police quickly reminded residents to remain vigilant as much as possible and stay indoors when there is no necessary thing to do outside. As for now, we will keep you updated soon. Back to you, Natalie.
Thank you, Ludward. The wildfires in Maui, Hawaii, have resulted in a death toll of at least 67 people, with the number expected to rise further. The resort town of Lahaina has been severely impacted, and it will require several years and billions of dollars to rebuild the damage caused by the wildfires. Hawaiian officials, including Governor Josh Green, have declared this disaster as the worst natural disaster in the state's history, leaving thousands homeless and destroying as many as 1,000 buildings. The disaster began unfolding just after midnight on Tuesday, when a brush fire was reported in the town of Kula, roughly 56 kilometers from Lahaina. About 5 hours later that morning, power was knocked out in Lahaina, according to residents. In updates posted on Facebook that morning, Maui County said the Kula fire had consumed hundreds of acres of pasture land, but that a small 1.2-hectare fire that cropped up in Lahaina had been contained. By that afternoon, however, the situation had turned more dire. At around 3:30 p.m. local time, according to the county's updates, the Lahaina fire suddenly flared up. Some residents began evacuating while people, including hotel guests, on the town's west side, were instructed to shelter in place. In the ensuing hours, the county posted a series of evacuation orders on Facebook. As the fire spread through the town, some witnesses said they had little advance notice, describing their terror when the blaze consumed Lahaina in what seemed a matter of minutes. Several people were forced to leap into the Pacific Ocean to save themselves. Winds from Hurricane Dora, hundreds of kilometers southwest of the Hawaiian Islands in the Pacific Ocean, have fanned the flames across the U.S. state through wind-driven fires, officials say. In addition to Dora, a high-pressure system contributed to drier and gustier conditions north of Hawaii. Dry vegetation is also a contributing factor that fueled the fire. Federal recovery funds, supplies, and equipment are beginning to arrive to aid in the response and recovery efforts. Search and rescue teams, including cadaver dogs from California and Washington, are working to locate remains within the ruins. Thousands of residents and tourists were evacuated from the affected areas, with some finding refuge on neighboring islands or in local shelters. A viral internet kitten named Tater Tot has passed away. George Duncan reports.
The beloved internet sensation Tater Tot, a viral kitten from Utah, has passed away. Tater Tot took the internet by storm when he was first posted in a Facebook group for cat lovers on June 29th at just a few days old. The tiny orange kitten was found outside in Utah by a dog, whose owners quickly saw that the kitty needed help. Seemingly just a day or two old, it was clear Tater Tot had a cleft palate, and all 4 of his legs were deformed. He was taken in by the local rescue group Kitty Crusade, where he was tube-fed and had every need tended to. Tater Tot had splints, affectionately known as his bonkers, put on his front legs to help them straighten out. A photo of the kitten and his splints was posted to Facebook on July 13th and went viral. So viral that the Facebook group Tater Tots and His Spewed Buds was created just to give his fans daily updates. Thousands of memes and endless artwork of Tater Tot poured in. Videos of Tater Tot on TikTok were getting millions of views. Tater Tot seemed to be improving every day, even working with an orthopedic specialist to correct his legs. Sadly, things took a turn for the worse, and Tater Tot died suddenly on August 2nd at just over 6 weeks old. Tater Tot was too small to have tests run, but his rescue group believes he had more health issues than they knew about, possibly even an enlarged heart. His caretaker, Ash Houghton with Kitty Crusade, said one moment Tater Tot was walking around, and the next moment he was gone. This tiny little potato has had such a profound impact on my heart, and I am so unbelievably happy I got to share him with the entire world. What started as me sharing some photos of the goofing new foster I had turned into an entire community focused on kindness, humor, and compassion. I am astounded at the reach Tater Tot's story had, and I cannot express to you just how incredible it has been to see how he has impacted the world. Houghton wrote in a Facebook post. Meanwhile, a local veterinarian in Schottler has taken a heartwarming initiative to honor Tater Tot's memory by distributing free Tater Tots potatoes to raise awareness and appreciation for pets. This is George Duncan, reporting for Orca News.
And that's it for today's news. This is Natalie Coles, reporting for Orca News. Good morning, everyone.